Hey, Serge, it's Carrie.
Hey, I'm waiting for you.
I know, I'm just a few minutes away, but I just wanted to give you a heads up on something, okay?
Sure.
Okay, I've got Mackenzie with me. Did I tell you I was bringing Mackenzie?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to have Mackenzie film our time together on because I have some really interesting information to share with you.
Sure, sounds good.
Okay, all right, so see you just in a few minutes. I'll be there, it looks like 6 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, see you in a bit.
Okay.
Okie dokie, bye.
Bye.
I never saw this coming, that my life would go this way.
The tide comes in,
Hey, Serge.
pulls some sand back into the
How are you?
ocean.
Good to see you.
The land is lost, another fight it cannot win. The cycle begins.
Serge was homeless and living on the streets of Hollywood. Serge grew up inside Scientology and was declared psychotic by the Church of Scientology after a fireworks accident.
When Serge had his accident, he lost both of his hands and his eye, and therefore Scientology considered they no longer had any use for Serge. He was a liability to them. He had been living on L Ron Hubbard Way, right next to the big blue buildings in Los Angeles at the time of the accident. Scientology's approach was to get Serge out and away and have nothing further to do with him.
The first part of this story is really about Carrie and how she got him off the streets, and then she got him into a home. Carrie sort of tag-teamed how the Aftermath Foundation would be able to help Serge. Carrie was working for a project in Hollywood. It was a beautification project for the Hollywood Blvd area. And as part of the project, they wanted to clean up the Hollywood Blvd. And part of getting that cleaned up was to help the homeless people get into homes or get into hospitals or get them the help that they needed so that they wouldn't be homeless. I first started talking to Serge through Carrie, and I would tell her something and then she would relay it. For the longest time, it was just getting a note back and forth. And I think the main reason that was is because Serge was essentially nonverbal for the most part.
There's Serge. There you go, big guy. Dude, this is the first time I've seen you in like 30 years, I think.
Wow.
Do you remember me when I used to live around the complex? You do?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh my God, dude, it's good to see you.
Do you remember when you signed your Sea Org contract for the first time?
I signed it when I was 11. So they took me out of high school while I was in junior high. They were going to prescribe me with Ritalin, a psychiatric drug. And Scientology doesn't believe in psychiatry. So that was as much schooling as I got was junior high. I joined the Sea Org, it was for a billion years. You know, I took it seriously, and I thought be in the Sea Org for a whole lifetime, and then I would die, and then join the Sea Org again.
That's when you signed a Sea Org contract?
Yeah.
When you were 11 years old?
Yeah.
A billion years.
Where do you live at that time? Do you still live with your parents?
We were living in like an apartment. I don't know if it's on Edgemont, but it's like it's off the base berthing.
Yeah.
The apartment building.
I think it might have been 1, 2, 3, 4 Edgemont.
Yeah,
we might have lived in the same exact apartment building.
Yeah.
If we go to 1, 2, 3, 4 Edgemont and you say,
That's the one. I'm gonna be like, that's so crazy. We lived in the same apartment building.
Well, I took all these tests and stuff, but
Like IQ tests,
IQ,
OCA, aptitude, leadership.
Yeah, all kinds of tests, and then the scores weren't that great. So then I did EPF.
Yeah.
And I graduated, and they told me I was going to AO, not to CMO.
Okay, yeah, so that's a common one. You think you're going to go here, and when you're on the EPF, they're like, yeah, no, you're not going there. You're going to go over here.
Yeah.
Same exact thing happened to me. Okay, so how long did it take you to do the EPF, which is, I'm going to just say what it is. It's the Estates Project Force, which is basically kind of like a Sea Org boot camp, right? Where you kind of do marching, and you learn what a Sea Org member is.
Yeah, you listen to the Sea Org tape. Maybe like 2 months.
Oh, wow, that's pretty fast.
Yeah.
So you could study.
Yeah.
But you just didn't, according to them, you didn't have high test scores.
I didn't have high test scores because basically I was just still a kid. You know.
Yeah, you were 11.
I was 11.
You were 11. Oh my God, I just thought it, that's so funny. You didn't have high test scores. Yeah, you were 11.
How like college tests?
Yeah, I know. How are you gonna be awesome on those tests when you're 11? I never in a million years thought of that.
I remember getting up very early, going to breakfast, working, then going to lunch, then working, then going to dinner, then working some more, and then sometime late at night getting off work and just having a little bit of time to yourself before going back to sleep and starting again. I didn't know I would be doing hard labor in the Sea Org, you know. I thought I was going to be just wearing a uniform like everyone else. I thought it was like a regular job. I didn't know I would be doing cleaning all the time, and I never imagined that this would be my future. At first, they had me as like an MAA. Then this mission came along. They needed mission personnel. So I was put on the mission, and they expected me to stay up really, really late when I was only like 11. And I needed my sleep, you know, so I fell asleep one time while we were doing the mission.
Yeah.
And because they had me like staying up all night and stuff for days in a row, you know. And
yeah.
I fell asleep because I was only like 11 and I need my growing sleep. And so they got kicked off the mission.
No.
And then
for sleeping.
Yeah.
Your father eventually left the Sea Org?
Yes. I remember he blew, they call it. That's where you leave the Sea Org without permission with the woman who was in the Sea Org with him, who worked for him. And they left the Sea Org together. That's what I remember.
So who from your family was still in the Sea Org after your father left?
My brother Yuri and my mother Nancy. I started working at the Manor Hotel when I was like 15. After the cooks and after all the cooks and the food preparation people left, I had to clean the whole galley by myself. It was a lot of very heavy work, not fun. It was like being a janitor, and I only got very little pay in the Sea Org, and I was being like a janitor, and it was very terrible. I think when I was 16, I was assigned to the RPF. The Rehabilitation Project Force. It's a very low level in the Sea Org, where you're considered to be very inferior to everyone else in the Sea Org, and you have to wear black, and you have to run everywhere. It's like I guess they don't have a prison in the Sea Org, but I guess it's the second best thing. If you mess up on the RPF, they assign you to an even lower level called the RPF's RPF. And I was carrying a door because they had me doing carpenter work, even though I was untrained on renovating the manor. And I was carrying a door, and I messed up, and the door got like a nick in it. I banged it, and so they assigned me to the RPF's RPF. We had to do much worse kind of work and jobs. One of my jobs was just the worst, like carrying wheelbarrows full of dirt. Just the worst kind of work that's imaginable was on the RPF's RPF. I remember just waiting for the meals.
Yeah, that was like, it was exactly. It's just, I just got to get to one more meal. I'm just going to do whatever I need to do to get to the next meal.
And you don't get much time to to sleep, you know. And I was working on the ethics files thing until they decided they wanted to send me to INT. So then
international management.
Yeah. So then
you were doing files, like when you say files, you were just filing
KRs.
knowledge reports.
Yeah.
You were filing, and they were Sea Org or public or just
Both,
everything?
both. But then I went over to the HGB to get the sec check.
Okay.
And
We're on Edgemont, just so you know.
okay.
So is it past Fountain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's
I'm
definitely-
almost positive that we lived in the same apartment building.
Then they the stats were going up. I had good stats.
What was your stat? Number of things filed?
Yeah.
It really was?
Yeah. Yeah.
How would you count how many things you filed?
I just would.
You just said
I had a
everything.
little clicker thing. I would click it each time I
Like a little counter, like a
counter.
like a little bean counter, like those guys at the clubs have.
Yeah.
You had one of those for filing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like an artist. I was also working on my skill as an artist. So when I was at the HGB, I saw my file thing for the all the KRs they had on me and all this stuff. They had a drawing I did. I thought maybe they wanted to make me like an L Ron Hubbard artist.
Oh,
so
yeah?
I was pretty jazzed.
Yeah.
But
And that's why they were saying you're going to go to INT?
yeah, it was probably
To be an artist?
Yeah.
To draw for like doing art or
like
promo
way to have this
or
book or something. So like,
drawings for
drawing.
Scientology books.
Yeah.
And then you wanted to do that.
yeah,
Okay.
because I was an artist. And,
Yeah.
and this, so it seemed like everything was going to go well. And then when it came to the sec check, I wasn't used to being on the e-meter where they were using it as a lie detector.
If you want to go to international management, you have to pass a security check so that they know you're not a spy or your parents work for the government or something like that.
It was just too much for me to do all that mesh work. I didn't expect to be in the Sea Org doing mesh work. That was like on the EPF. You do mesh work and then I took
then
the
you
end.
go do a job.
Yeah, that never happened for me. You know.
So you were just you were always cleaning, doing renovations.
Yeah. Basically, I just left the Sea Org. I just left the post and walked away. And my mom had me go to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, to live with relatives.
Whoa! Wait a minute. I did not know this at all.
Yeah.
So you left Los Angeles.
Yeah. I blew.
Okay, so you blow, which means an unauthorized departure in Scientology.
Like AWOL.
AWOL, yeah, AWOL. What is AWOL? It's
Absent without leave.
Absent without leave.
And then I came back to PAC. I was living with my mom at the Anthony Building. I've been in the Sea Org. I've been getting $25 a week, and so I started being an extra to make money. I was able to be an extra in some movies, like Independence Day, just some movies and TV shows. Like I was on Beverly Hills 90210 and various shows. This is an extra, just as background. It was a lot of fun to be on movie sets. I was like an extra in this 90s movie called Clueless.
Yeah? You were in Clueless?
Yeah.
Whoa! That's the one with
Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah, Alicia Silverstone. Can you see yourself in the movie if you watch it? No way.
Yeah.
You know where?
Yeah.
Which part of the movie is it?
It's when they're at the house, at the Christmas house. They're at like a Christmas party.
Yeah.
And I was in the kitchen, and it shows. Oh
no! Sorry, we're going. Is he giving me a ticket?
I don't know. Just looking kind of mean.
Is this it?
Yeah.
This is the one with the pool.
Yeah.
Dude, we lived in the same. Which floor did you live on?
I lived right there on the.
That is where your room was.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. They put some stucco on it.
They did. It used to be kind of like beige, right?
Yeah.
Like a kind of browny kind of.
It says now renting.
Yeah. You want to go get an apartment there? I haven't been here in forever. Okay, so this is the complex. Wow. Oh my God, there's a Sea Org member.
I used to skateboard down those stairs.
Oh yeah, totally. Everybody did. Okay, so that's AOLA.
Yeah.
That's the Fountain Building. That's definitely what it was called, the Fountain Building.
It wasn't blue.
They painted. Well, now that's how you know they bought it, because now it's the color. It's the same color as everything else. Do you care if we walk around?
I don't want to.
Okay, good. Then we will. Okay, so that's AO. And you lived in the complex there?
Yeah.
Are you uncomfortable driving here?
No, I'm okay. I haven't been here in so
I just
long.
waved at the security guard that I've known for like 30 years, and he pointed at me like that, and I just waved back.
Where are these pumpkins? Halloween. No, it's Halloween.
Yeah, it's Halloween. I think the security guards might be onto us too, because they watched us drive just now. They're kind of coming out. The guy on the bike is behind us.
Oh.
And this guy, they just got our license plate. Oh yeah, they're totally 100% onto us.
Wow, we're just walking around, driving around.
I know, but that guy, the security guard that just walked into the street, he just got our license plate, and then this guy is gonna come down and they're gonna ID us right now. This guy on the bike is literally right now coming down.
Oh man.
They're gonna look inside. See, there he is. See, look. And I told you, dude. Look at that. Was that crazy or what?
Yeah.
They're literally circling around us, keeping track of us. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we shouldn't go by the dollhouse thing there.
You don't want to? It doesn't matter to me.
I don't want to.
Okay, good. Then we won't go.
Yeah, I think we should not
Good.
stir up any more bees.
Not stir up any more bees. You know, I normally don't get kind of weird when I go around there, but I did that time just now. I got a little like butterflies, I got a little anxious.
Do you remember what happened when you had your firecracker making accident?
Yeah, I was like 19 years old. I was making homemade firecrackers. One of the firecrackers that I made while I was making it, it exploded, and I lost one of my eyes. This is a glass eye, and I lost both my hands. They had to be amputated because the explosion did too much damage to the hands, so they had to amputate them. But you should never try to make your own fireworks or play with firecrackers or anything like that. I was a teenager. I was 19, and I was just doing something really dumb. You know, some people get into drugs, get into various different things. I got into trying to make firecrackers, and I lost my hands, and I have marks on my face, and I made a bad choice in my life, you know, that I regret. Yeah, there was like a piece of plastic that hit the eye.
Yeah.
And it collapsed it.
Yeah.
So they had to amputate it.
Then just take out the eye.
Yeah, so they gave me a glass eye.
That's a glass eye right now?
Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah. And then they had to amputate the hands.
Okay.
And a different doctor did each hand on each side.
Yeah.
I didn't have any medical insurance, so they took me to a county medical
But the
hospital.
Sea Org people took you there.
No.
Who took you there?
An ambulance.
An ambulance just picked you up and took you?
I had my brother call 911. I said, call 911.
Yeah.
And then he called 911, and so then the ambulance showed up, and then they cut my clothing off, and then I blacked out, and I woke up in the hospital. No one ever contacted me from the Sea Org or talked to me in the hospital. The only person that visited me was my mother.
His mother used Serge's money to go and visit him, and that was the only way she told Serge she was even able to go, is essentially she was receiving paychecks that Serge had earned from being extras on a movie, and Serge's mother used those funds to go and visit Serge in the hospital.
Well, at first, she was visiting me in the hospital, and then setting me up with prosthetics. My first prosthetics, she got them for me. She set me up with a place to live, a house, and then she just disappeared from my life. all of a sudden. And my brother, too, he disappeared from my life. I have no clue what their lives are like today or anything. My mom found a room to rent for me in a house in Los Feliz. I was staying there. I didn't have a bed, but it was a room. It was shelter. I had to pay the rent from Social Security. That my mom she arranged for me to get Social Security money for being disabled. And with the Social Security money, I was able to pay the rent. I can't say that I had enough money. You know, Social Security is not that much money. I just did my best. You know, there's very little money that Social Security gives. You know, she only visited me for like a period of about 1 month, maybe 2 or 3 times, and then that's when she stopped talking to me and stopped coming around. And that was the last time that I spoke to my mother and brother. I didn't understand. My brother wouldn't talk to me. I didn't understand why my mother wouldn't talk to me. I assumed I'd been declared a SP, a suppressive person, by Scientology, and that they, I assumed that that's what happened, that they had to disconnect from me. Maybe when the firecracker exploded, it disturbed an auditing session or something. Or when the police arrived to investigate, maybe the police attention on the street of the Scientology was disturbed an auditing session. I assumed I'd been declared a SP because they disconnected from me. You know, that would be standard procedure, you know, to disconnect from the SP. Once you're declared SP, you're a suppressive person, you're a bad person, and they have to stay away from the bad people because they make you sick. A suppressive person is the cause of all illness, according to L Ron Hubbard, why you get sick, and I'm the bad person, you know. And that's one of the main reasons I became homeless, was I was left all alone after my accident by my mother and my brother. I have had no contact with the Sea Org since my accident of any kind. This is the house where I was staying at.
Which one? This green one?
This green one, yeah.
Right there?
Yeah.
How long did you live there for?
I lived there for about 6 years.
6 years?
Yeah.
And you paid rent? How did you pay rent?
From Social Security.
Oh, so they... Okay, but hold on a second. Because if she set it up for you to stay there, and your Social Security, you paid the rent. They didn't pay the rent for you.
No, I paid rent out of Social Security.
Okay, so you paid the rent out of Social Security, and then so for 6 years. So from 1995 to when?
To like 2001.
To 2001. 1995 to 2001. Okay, and then in 2001, what happened?
I became sort of off and on homeless.
But I mean, but why?
I was evicted from the house by the manager. Before that, there were some problems just with the house itself. That it wasn't. There was a dog that had a lot of fleas in the yard, and the fleas got all over the yard and into the house, and they were everywhere. There were fleas on my clothing. When I was riding the city bus, I had fleas on me. I had to brush them off me, and I was very traumatized by the flea problem at the house, and so it probably was not a good place for me to stay anyways. I had no support system, no one to talk to. In case there was an emergency, I had no one to contact. All I had was just my Social Security money, and that was it. Originally, I had prosthetics and a glass eye, but I lost both those during the time that I was homeless. They just broke apart. You know, the rubber bands broke, the cables broke. Eventually, there was just like a thing you could put your arm in, but then then I lost it. I lost the. While I was on the street, I just lost my prosthetics. I made do with without prosthetics. You know, just made do.
So when you first were on the streets, you used to sleep in the front of this theater right here, and these little nooks right here.
Yeah.
Right in here.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've actually seen a clip of that. Okay.
How many nights do you think?
Countless.
Like hundreds?
Wow.
Really? Oh my gosh, Serge. We went to the Los Feliz Theater, which I cannot believe that you were sleeping on the front of. Was it cold? So it was cold though.
It was cold. Yeah, it definitely wasn't exaggerating when I said hypothermia.
Oh, so you literally would call the ambulance because you were about to freeze to death.
Yeah.
You would call an ambulance and then they would bring you a blanket.
Yeah.
Like they would come and they'd say, I don't want to go to the hospital, I just need a blanket.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my goodness, dude. I'm sorry to laugh. It's like I'm rejecting the idea. It's so crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? My mind is like trying to process you sleeping on that movie theater.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay, so I don't even know how to say this. I saw these videos on YouTube of you. Have you seen those? There's videos of you on YouTube. Did you know that?
Carrie told me that there was.
When you were on Hollywood Boulevard, and you're like, dude, you, in one of the videos, you're like about to throw down with those bid cops, you know, those private security guards that used to go up and down the boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
You're like about to throw down with them. One guy is about to mace you. Do you remember any of this?
I got maced by them.
You got maced by them?
Yeah.
Like how many times?
One time.
One time? They didn't mace you in this video, but they were just about to. Do you remember that? It was just like you were just there so long. You were just like,
yeah, I was homeless for so long.
And you're just like, what is that? I don't even know. What is that like? Like, what's your? I'm trying to understand because
sort of like being drunk.
Like being drunk?
You feel like you're kind of drunk.
Yeah.
And like things are not as crisp. Like right now everything's all crisp and stuff. Things are kind of blurry when you're homeless for a long time.
Just like everything's just a blur.
I was homeless for 10 years, and I was all on my own. I was freezing every night in the cold. There was just no one in my life. No one helped me. I would take the number 4 bus line down to the beach. I guess I was just moving around while I was homeless, but I like to sleep close to the ocean. So I would sleep by Thirsty Promenade. Just find a little nook to lie down in and go to sleep at night. I guess I like the ocean. I'm very grateful that I'm not homeless anymore because it was so bad. I was cold every night. I thought I had hypothermia. Sometimes I lost my money because I was afraid people were going to steal my money, and I dropped the money, and then the wind blew it everywhere. And that really happened to me one time where I was hungry for the rest of the month. Got to wait till my next month's check to get food. I thought I was going to die. I saw no end to it. I did see Scientologists while I was homeless, but they didn't talk to me. No one in Scientology talked to me while I was homeless.
They didn't recognize you?
They must have recognized me, but I never had a conversation, even like hello or anything with the Scientologist or serial member. I don't know. I guess they didn't want to help me, you know.
Well, all of the buildings that are on Hollywood Boulevard, where Serge was sleeping outside of on Hollywood Boulevard, are Sea Org organizations.
I am positive Scientology absolutely knew that Serge was homeless right in front of their buildings. They have cameras everywhere. They have security guards who stand out on Hollywood Boulevard all hours of the day and night. And they keep track of people coming and going. And they also keep track of people who they would consider situations, which Serge absolutely was a situation. His mother and his stepfather and his brother were all still in the Sea organization. So they absolutely would have known that Serge was homeless on Hollywood Boulevard.
The fact that he was homeless outside of their buildings and they did nothing is appalling, because somebody could have written a report even and said, hey, this is happening, and somehow it could have got sorted out. But instead they chose to do nothing.
Scientology's primary focus is to make the able more able, per the words of L Ron Hubbard, Scientology's founder. In regards to a person with a disability, Scientology believes that such a person is what they call a degraded being, which means that they have committed crimes in a prior lifetime that has caused them to deserve this condition. And there is no part of Scientology that addresses or caters to a disabled person in any way.
Scientology, in my experience and being at the Los Angeles area organizations where there were homeless people, is that they try to keep them away from the property as much as they can. And there is even an instance where at one of their facilities on Sunset Boulevard, they actually were hosing them down. They hosed down the homeless to try to get them to move away from their property.
Over here, and over here, down here.
Okay, so he told you 3-4 times to get off the public street, right?
Yeah.
And you haven't done anything, you haven't talked to any of them, or you hadn't? No, because you were just minding your own business, right?
Hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. And they told you.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Down there too.
Uh-huh.
Who eventually helped get you off the streets?
It was a lady named Carrie Morrison. I was on Hollywood Blvd, and I was at Hollywood Highland, and she walked up to me, said my name, Serge Obolensky. Somehow she knew my name. I was scared. I thought she was a lawyer. So I didn't respond to her. I just walked away. That's when I first met her.
You thought she was a lawyer?
Yeah. Carrie Morrison, who was working with the police to try to make me become conserved. The police picked me up for jaywalking, and then they contacted psychiatry, and a psychiatrist from the Department of Mental Health chose to put me on a psychiatric hold. And then a psychiatrist saw me and decided to maybe conserved, go to court, become a conserved person. So once I got conserved, I was off the street, and I've been off the street ever since.
Carrie is the one who solved the mystery of who is Serge Obolensky.
As part of her job, she was getting these people off Hollywood Boulevard. And Serge was one of the last people that they weren't able to connect with. And so that is how we tied in with that, because we knew Serge and we were able to say, oh, this is who his parents were, and this is who this is. Once Carrie got him off the streets and got him into a home, then it was, I don't think we would have been able to do that part of it. So having Carrie do the first part of Serge's rehabilitation and recovery to get off the streets, that was a very key aspect of getting him to a point where the Aftermath Foundation could then help him and get him the resources and the support he needed to do these other things.
It was kind of scary at first, being conserved. It's been a lot better not being homeless. It's been a lot better. Carrie Morrison connected me with my father. She said that there's a way we could talk to each other, and we went to lunch, and I've been in contact with him ever since.
What was it like to see him after so many years?
It was a little weird. I hadn't seen him for so long. I didn't know if he was just going to reject me and not talk to me. I didn't know what was going to happen. And I saw he is married again to a woman named Mary Jo, and seeing the two of them was a strange experience. But it's better to have him in my life as a support. Support for me is good. We went to Coco's restaurant to eat lunch together, and we talked, and he said that it might be possible for us to stay connected, and we've been connected ever since.
How did you get in contact with the Aftermath Foundation?
Through Carrie Morrison, she contacted them for me. I didn't really know about the Aftermath Foundation. I knew about Leah Remini and I seen her on TV, but I didn't know anything about the Aftermath Foundation. Carrie arranged everything.
So, where are we right now?
We're at Hanger Clinic, prosthetics company. We're going to get some prosthetics today.
Awesome. How do you feel about that?
Excited. Like about a year ago, the Aftermath Foundation arranged for me to get these new prosthetics. So I have prosthetics now again.
What was the most satisfying thing you could do again with prosthetics?
Just hold a fork or a spoon and eat food at a restaurant. I got a new prosthetic eye right here, a new glass eye. Somehow they found the original people who made my original glass eye. The company had been bought by someone else, but they still have my medical records, and so I was able to get from the same people a new glass eye.
Going through the motions, I'm dreaming of the ocean as I swim above a riverbed. Life is so fraudulent. Towel off my guilt as I shuffle through the silt. Draw a line in the sand. Wonder where I should stand.
Wow.
Pretty epic.
Yeah, that is epic.
Better cursive than I have.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay, you can do anything.
Yeah.
You can do everything. Great.
That is awesome.
Grab it. Grabbing it all.
That's heavy. That's a long thing to do.
Wow, so cool.
When I first started talking with Serge, the conversations were always monosyllabic, just one word here, one word there. The biggest challenge we faced at the outset was really centered around communication because he was coming out of having been nonverbal. I helped Serge with the medical attention he needed by essentially activating a network of people, of ex-Scientologists who volunteered their help and knowledge base to really assist the Aftermath Foundation in how to best help Serge. One of our volunteers who specializes in prosthetics explained to us that all Serge needed to get new prosthetics was actually a prescription from his primary care doctor to get prosthetics.
Essentially, the only thing that Serge needed was he needed an advocate. He needed somebody who could be there for him to ask these questions and navigate paperwork and insurance and doctors and who can do what. And he needed a network of people. And we had a network of people. And with Claire just orchestrating different people and finding out who was the best person to talk to for each of the things we needed, we were able to get Serge new prosthetic, what do you call them?
Hooks.
He wanted new prosthetic hooks. So we were able to get him new prosthetic hooks. And even when he needed a new eye, the company that made his original eye went out of business or closed down or whatever. And Claire contacted all of the places that were just in the area where Serge was living to be able to find a place that would be able to do this for him. And the place that she ended up talking to in the end that was going to do it, they had bought the other practice that had made Serge his eye 15, 20 years ago or whatever it is. And so they had his file and they knew exactly what eye he had, and they were just able to say, like, yeah, no problem, we'll just order it up. They knew the size, they knew everything they needed to know to make him a new eye because they had bought the company that made him his eye before. So it sort of all kind of came together in order for him to get the attention he needed. And also through the help of Carrie, she was able to shuttle him around when he needed to go to places, when he needed to go to appointments. And then once he was able to go on his own and we got him a phone and we put the Uber app on it and all these things that he needed to get around. And if he had any sort of troubles or he had any questions, he could just call us and we could talk to the doctor or talk to whoever we needed to talk to and get it resolved. And not for Serge, really all he needed was somebody to be on his team. And the reason that he ended up homeless, the reason he ended up losing his prosthetics, all these things that had happened is because he was never educated or taught how to navigate the real world. And he didn't have anybody to talk to and say, hey, can you help me navigate the real world? And just having essentially the foundation, Claire, myself, the foundation, and Carrie, just having this small group of people that had a network of other people that we could rely on, we were able to get him everything that he needed to get him through all of these kind of medical and, just life hurdles. He just needed a little bit of direction and a little bit of help. And that made all the world a difference in keeping him on the right track to recovery.
Your teeth were in pretty bad shape after being on the streets for so long.
Yeah, I had a lot of dental problems with my teeth. I'd lost 6 teeth. When I was homeless, I'd not been brushing my teeth. I'd been not taking care of my teeth. And I had a lot of dental problems. And the Abandonment Foundation paid for a big cosmetic makeover of my smile. And it was good.
Give us a big smile. They look great. The Aftermath Foundation helped you get an iPhone, right?
Yeah, they bought for me a smartphone, and because while I was homeless, smartphones were invented, and I would never have a smartphone if I was still homeless, and it's necessary to have a smartphone today to just be part of society, and it's been a really great thing to have. Well, now I can do texts, I can look on YouTube, TikTok, I can do all kinds of stuff, listen to music.
And now you can video message with your dad?
Yeah, I talk to my dad once a week on FaceTime.
And you are working on getting your GED now?
Yeah, there are 4 tests you have to pass to get your GED, high school equivalency. I passed 2 of the tests, the reading test and the science test, and I still have to pass social studies and mathematics. So I'm working on that right now.
Why is that important to you?
Well, I never graduated high school, and it's just really important for me to have a high school education.
I mean, you need a high school diploma for a lot of things,
Like to get a job, or even also just so you know the things that you learn when you go to high school. That'll help you with the job.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I don't have a high school diploma.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I still don't. I never finished.
Yeah, Claire is gonna help me. She said that once I pass the social studies test,
yeah,
I have the math test I have to pass.
Yeah.
And she's gonna set me up with tutoring.
Yeah.
For math tutoring, so I can get through the math test.
Okay, and you're gonna do that here, or are you gonna do it online?
I don't know. She said like a tutor, like a person would help me.
Okay.
She's gonna pay for it. She said.
Awesome. Okay, good. Yeah, I think.
Do you know about that at all?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that when she did, when the last proposal was for the Aftermath Foundation, that all that stuff was included in it, so that you could do your schooling as well, whatever it takes to do your schooling.
Besides getting your GED, is there anything else you have your mind set on accomplishing?
Maybe community college. I'd like to try community college or getting a job. Getting off Social Security, being able to support myself. That'd be great.
Are your mother and brother still involved in Scientology?
Yes, they are. My mother still works in the Sea organization. My brother, he lives in Clearwater, Florida, near the flag base. As far as I know, he's still a Scientologist, and they're not in the Sea Org anymore.
Have you spoken to your brother or mother recently?
No, I haven't spoken to them. I haven't talked to them since they stopped talking to me.
Do you wish you can speak with them?
Yes, I very much would like to have contact with my family. Being away from my mother for so long is taking a toll on me. And I miss my brother. I'd like to talk to him. I don't know why he's mad at me. I don't know what's going on. but I thought we were friends. You know, we grew up together. I wish I could talk to him.
Yeah. Do you still have hope that you will someday?
I guess I have hope. I mean, there's always hope, you know, keep hope alive.
Yeah. I hope that you do someday. If the Aftermath Foundation could get a video message to your mother or brother, what would you want them to know? What would you tell them?
That I love them, that I have unconditional love for my family, that I miss them, that you know, we had a good time together. I thought when we were growing up. I thought they're my family, and you know, family is blood is thicker than water. You know, just tell them I miss them. You know, very much. I would like to talk to them. Even if I'm declared SP, I would like them to break the rules and talk to me. And I'd like them to know that that I'm okay, that I'm not dead, that I'm not homeless anymore, that I have help from the Aftermath Foundation and from Carrie Morrison, and my dad is helping me too. And even though we were part of Scientology, and it's like I don't want it to be something that divides us. You know, I want us to stay a family, and I would like us to be a family again.
The Aftermath Foundation is a foundation that was set up to help people that have left or are planning to leave Scientology so that they can restart their lives again. In most cases, the ex-Scientologists that we're helping are members of Scientology that were in the Sea organization. If you leave the Sea org and you leave Scientology, Scientology makes it so you can't talk to your family and you can't talk to any of your friends or connections that are in Scientology. So not only are you sort of kicked out into the real world, but now you don't have any resources. And in a lot of cases, these Sea Org members are kicked out with little to nothing. The clothes that they have and whatever possessions. One of the last people that we heard said they give you $500. Like, you could have been in the Sea Org 25 years. They give you $500. And they just say, okay, and that $500 is essentially a way for you to get from where you are away from them, and then you're not their problem anymore. Scientology has been throwing people away like trash for decades, and there's been no support system for these people that have been thrown away by Scientology. And so the Aftermath Foundation was set up specifically to help this group of people so that they could start their lives over and have a successful, happy life outside of Scientology. If people want to support the Aftermath Foundation, you can go to theaftermathfoundation.org, and you can volunteer to be someone who can be a resource for the Aftermath Foundation if you have a certain skill set, or if you live in an area where you might be able to help somebody that we need to get from one location to another location, namely the airport, or to a family member, all the way down to just making a donation to the Aftermath Foundation. And all that can be found at theaftermathfoundation.org.
And I am the instructor for the high school equivalency program. The General Education Development Test, or GED, or the high school equivalency test, HiSET, are federal tests designed to measure the skills and concepts learned during the 4 years of high school. Our third award is presented to Serge Obolensky, the high school coach. Before coming to the ABC Adult School, Serge had passed the Language Arts and Social Studies GED exams, but needed to work on his math skills before attempting that exam again. So he enrolled in my GED HiSET preparation course. In class, I saw his commitment, effort, and positive attitude, all ingredients to success. Like many other students, Serge has felt the sting of failing an exam. But what mattered more was that he picked himself up and kept going. We can choose to define ourselves by our problems or by our character to overcome obstacles. Serge has experienced homelessness and the loss of both of his hands due to an unfortunate accident. Despite all that, he learned to use a computer, a calculator, and take notes. More importantly, he was focused on meeting his goal. He asked questions, was supported in class by all of you, and started to understand what he could do. Serge, may you continue to take that can-do attitude instead of I can't to new places and new joys. Congratulations.
Serge Obolensky.
When Serge told me he had passed his final GED test, that was incredible. Serge has been through so much. He is 46 years old, and his entire life has been a train wreck, essentially. Just absolutely awful experiences you wouldn't want anyone to go through. So when he finally attained the GED, it was an incredible victory, especially for him. But for us, just as bystanders, seeing this miracle happen and seeing the transformation in Serge was incredibly powerful.
Thank you. I'm very grateful for the prosthetics and the dental work and the prosthetic eye and the cell phone and all the ways they've helped me. And it's good to have the support in my life of Claire and Mark and everybody just to support me. I'd just like to say thank you.
It's just really great to see him come from where he was to this really happy, excited. He wants to go to college. He wants to get a job. He's already started applying for jobs. These are the sort of things that he's always wanted to do, and he didn't think that he'd be able to do anything in life unless he had a GED. That was like the first step for him restarting his life, was he has to get a GED, because in order to get a job, you got to get a GED. So he's like, okay, I got to get my GED done so then I can get a job. And once I get my GED, then I can start going to college. And so these are all the sort of things that the GED was going to unlock for Serge. So it was very exciting to hear that he had completed his GED.
Vitamins and history books, psychology and a different way to look at it all. 'Cause my perspective is broken. If suffering's a way to earn your keep, I better start putting miles on my feet. But I'm so tired of wandering. Yeah, I'm lost, but I'm living. Yeah, I'm lost. Can I be forgiven? by now pain would be my friend. I know that discomfort was a means to an end, but I'm lying in one bed. No, I'm lost, but I'm living. No, I'm lost. Can I be forgiven? Claustrophobic and comfortable. I smother myself in what I know. I'm claustrophobic and comfortable. I smother myself in what I know. Yeah, I'm lost, but I'm no, I'm lost. Can I be forgiven?